Hello, thanks for stopping by the video today. I'm going to show you guys how to set up a self node for the Cardano network. And I'm going to try to make this one a lot quicker than the Windows one. The Windows one was a little bit more complicated, but for Mac and Linux, it seems to be pretty easy. And I'm actually on my buddy's Mac. I didn't realize that it was the exact same setup as it was with Linux, but it is. So I'm already here, and I'm going to show you guys how to do that in Mac. But if you guys are also need to know how to do this in Linux, just feel free to watch this video. So the first thing you're going to want to do is install Rust. So if I run into any issues, I'm going to try to get through them quick, but this is my first time ever using macOS. So you're going to want to open the terminal. If you don't know how to do that, you're just going to want to search it up here. Type in terminal. But once you have that open, you're going to want to type in this command right here. I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. I'm not actually going to execute it, but what happens when you execute it is it'll give you three options, 1, 2, and 3. You can just go ahead and click enter, and it'll work fine. So just click enter right here, and then it's going to give you another option. Click enter there, and then it's going to install Rust for you, and everything's going to be good after that. And Rust is the programming environment that you're going to need to use for this. So then after you have that set up, you're going to want to clone this right here, and I'm actually just going to copy a command for this, and you should do the same. I'm going to have this tutorial in the description, and I'm also going to have these commands that you can clone just to make it a little easier for you. But just go ahead and copy that. So you're going to want to go to the folder. So you just create a new folder real quick and rename it. So I'm just going to name this YouTube. Hold on, it's denying me real quick. See, this is me not knowing how to use Mac showing. Alright, so I rename that to YouTube. So then you're going to open your terminal back up, and then you're going to want to go to that folder. So it is slash desktop. If this isn't working, you just need to make sure you have a capital D. It is case sensitive. Did I not capitalize it? You gotta type CD to go to the folder. Okay, so now once you're in the folder, you're just gonna want to paste that command to clone the GitHub. And what's nice about Mac is it's actually already installed GitHub, because I had to install it on Windows for my tutorial. So that should be done, so we can open up this folder and look at it. And it's in there. So now, like I said, this is pretty simple. We're just gonna have to run a few more commands. So you're just gonna want to CD into that folder. So CD Jormungandr. Alright, so now you can see, if you look at right here, it'll say Jormungandr. So then we're going to need to run another command. It's just, you can also copy and paste it from that, but I'm just going to type it in. It's cargo install -- path, and then Jormungandr. And then, so what this is doing is it's installing Jormungandr, the .x, to your path, and you're going to need this to run. It's going to take a little bit. It's going to run through all of the setup in the command prompt. I'm actually not going to do this because it takes a long time, and I don't want to run the video out. And because I'm on a Mac, I can't just cut it. But so after you install this, there should be no error messages. If you run into any error messages, you messed something up earlier in the video. If you followed everything step by step, just feel free to leave a comment down below with your error code and we can get that figured out. But so the next thing you're going to want to install after that's all set up is the same thing: cargo install -- path, and then JCIL. This is the other executable that you need in your path for this all to work. So it's going to be the same process. It's probably going to ask you, are you sure? And then it's going to run through a 0 to 100% setup, and that should work just fine. So then after you have that set up, what I like to do is create a different folder for this entirely. And so what I'm going to do is drag in. You can just CD to this folder right here and run it in here, but I like to do it in the other folder. So you're going to want to come in here and you're going to want to go to scripts, and you're going to want to copy all of these scripts and paste them into that folder. So those are all getting pasted in there. So now that those are all in there, you're going to need two .x files. Well, they're not .x because we're on Mac, but you're going to go here, and then you're going to go to releases. This link is going to be in the description down below. It's just the Jorgen Gander GitHub. And then since we're on Mac, if you're using Linux, you're obviously going to want to use the operating system you're using for Linux. But we're going to go to this one right here. It's Apple-Darwin. You want to download that. So then once you download that, you're going to open it up, and then you're going to see two files in there. Let me find it. Alright, you took them out of that one. Okay. So I got it open right here. Alright, so you'll see JCIL and then Jormungandr. It's the two things that we actually copied to the path earlier. So you're going to want to drag those into that untitled folder that we made earlier. And then now that we have everything set up in here, we're going to want to go back to the terminal, and then we're going to want to CD to that folder. So I'm going to actually rename this real quick so it's not the worst to CD to. So we'll type in this YT-2, and everything is, you have to make sure everything's capital. So then we need to do CD /desktop /YT-2. And then you're going to have to do, so this is the command you use in macOS to run the bootstrap, and the bootstrap sets everything up. So you do ./bootstrap, and then there you go. So then what this does is it creates all the other files you need, and this is kind of just like a helper to set everything up for you. And then to actually start the node, so once you do this, you can't go back unless you redo all the steps, but it is pretty easy once you know how to do it. But so you're going to want to copy this command right here. They ideally put it up there so you can just copy it really easily. So you just want to copy that, and it's just Jormungandr, and it's just this, and then the to connect is where it actually stops. So you're going to want to paste that in there, press enter, and then you can see it doing everything. There should be no errors that come up right here. It's just going to do all the things it needs to do, starting the tasks and the subtasks. And then it'll take a second. It always gets stuck right here on the end of epoch reminder. Even on Windows, it gets stuck right there. But while that's loading, I'm going to go into a couple of the other things that are in that folder. So because we're on macOS, running these script files is going to be a lot easier than just running the JCLI commands. So if I were you, what I would do is just run through and use some of these the scripts that are already made for you, and you can use those to actually do the things you need to do. Because in Windows, and the video that I'm going to make, you have to actually type in the JCLI commands, and that's not that hard, but these the scripts that are already made for you are a lot easier to use than doing the JCLI commands yourself. But yeah, it will take a little bit of time to actually set this up. Sometimes it takes a minute, sometimes it takes 30 seconds, sometimes it takes an hour. On Windows, I had it even take me a couple hours before. But I think it was a little bit more picky on Windows. So yep, there you go. I'm happy that it happened, so I didn't have to end the video before. But when you see block added successfully to node's blockchain with the date and the ID of the block, you know that you've done it. Everything's set up, and then you have your own self node running on Mac or Linux, depending on what you're watching this video on, what you want to do this on. But like I said, I've never used a Mac before, so if you guys appreciated this tutorial in this video, I'd really appreciate it if you left a like on this video, and I also appreciate already that you made it this far. But I also accept BAT through YouTube. I'm a creator on there, and I also have a Bitcoin and a Cardano donation in the link below. But anyways, I'm glad you guys watched this video, and I hope you have a good day. Goodbye.